Hello, good morning, good morning. Let me know if the Discord is working. Y'all can see the screen. Yep, alright, nice. Contemplating a buy over here. Ooh, should we execute? Should we take it? It's valid. It's valid, but it's choppy. Error right there. I just don't trust it, man. It's so choppy. Well, I can see there's a move. There's a move. The question is, you know, London is opening here in a bid. Whether it's maybe wiser to wait for the London open. Let me just confirm to my broker quickly. Nah, it's valid. I'm gonna have to take it, guys. Emotions out the door. I'm gonna have to take it. I'm gonna execute here when it breaks the high. Currently just looking for buys. Let's see. Boom. Actually, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for this candle here to close bearish. If I can get this, if this candle can close bearish, then I think that would look a lot better. Structure looks controlled there. Also on my broker, it's the same. We just need this candle here to close bearish. Come on, man. Don't rush it. It's got that SMA kiss of death right underneath. Kind of like currently holding the candlestick up a little bit. So yeah, this is just needing to take the trade without emotions, because we gotta have the London open here in a bit, and this could be one of the pushes before any kind of craziness comes in. Because, you know, we're chopping up a lot today, so we gotta be, you know, we gotta be careful here. Let's see if we can get the break. And an hourly candlestick about to open. See what's gonna happen here. So how the hourly is. Fat rejection on the hourly, as you can see right over here. Prices looks like it's overall gearing to move up bullish. On the 4 hour as well, you can see massive accumulation over here with a clean range to the upside. So I believe that price wants to create a reason to move up here. We've accumulated a lot of orders because we're trying to break through that higher time frame range. There's a resistance here price has been trying to break through. Oh, looks like we're breaking right before the hourly open. Oh, Lee, man, I knew it. Look at this. Look at how fast that it broke through. But I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. It went way too fast. Holy. I freaking knew it. I knew it, Goldie. I freaking knew it. I knew you'd just try and consolidate a break out of this range. You see that, man? There were too many people wanting to buy at this level. This is 51.79, so it pushed price up. I couldn't get stock. I couldn't. Look at this thing. Holy! And it was trying to break out. There's this range we've been flirting with some kind of a resistance over here. That Goldie is just trying to break out. That's what price usually does before it breaks the level. But man, there were so many buyers in here. I couldn't get a seat. I couldn't get a seat. The only people who could get a seat over here is if you execute a bit earlier. You see, it doesn't matter if that hourly candle's opening. Of course, we like to have the hourly open already, but sometimes it works in your favor in confluence like this. Man, I just needed that break. I just needed the break. It came so close. Like, literally, it just came like this. It came like this. And then it formed a wick right under my entry. All I needed was it just to trigger me in. It was just a break. Just a small break, like 0.1 pips more. Man, but if you somehow manage to catch this trade, you know, pretty good. Well done. Well done. If I hit a buy, sometimes it happens by accident. I hit a buy. I would put like all the way up over here, but it looks like I would have still survived. Make sure I didn't hit a buy. No, I didn't hit a buy. Man, now we just gotta wait. Now we just gotta wait again. Now we just have to wait again. But look at how fast that was. That was 2 minutes, 54 pips. Now we just have... I knew it. This was a setup right here. Now I gotta wait. Gonna get filled. But it's attempting to break out of this. You know, there's a 4 hour... There's a huge accumulation here on the 4 hour. The 1 hour fat rejections to the downside. You see that massive liquidity grab right over here. As confluence. And what else? Yeah, we just have that range, fat liquidity grabs, consolidating as well by resistance points all the way up over here. This is that general region. Yeah, it's just this area over here that we're trying to break from. See this? Market accumulate. Now you sync profit taking. Those guys got out. I wonder who gets these moves, man. Like, maybe like, I don't know. Besides, I don't think retail traders get those types of moves. I think those moves are for some kind of exclusive members somewhere. Because I think like retail traders waiting for the breaks, I think it doesn't matter. Like most of y'all, even if you set a buy stop, you probably get slipped. Or like banks and whatnot, which get these price points. I don't know how that works. But yeah, sometimes it happens, so you just gotta wait, man. You just gotta wait for the next one. It's too competitive pricing. So let's see if we can set up again. Still looking for buys. Still anticipating maybe some further upside. Holding a buy from 169. It's a profit taking. People got in, made their money. They said adios. Sure, even people got slipped. I always like to imagine people like trading around the world the same thing. You know, you don't get these moves by accident, right? Like these moves gonna happen because people are gonna see them. So again, some people here got slipped. They're like, oh, I got slipped. I got slipped 16 pips, and then it kept moving up. They're like, oh, thank God we kept moving up. Because that hourly could have pulled back too. Could have pulled back here at the high, but it kept pushing. Actually, it did pull back. Created a polite bottom wick, and then pulled back up again. It moved so fast, that bottom wick, I didn't even see it form. Now just gotta wait for the next TFX confirmation. And just keep doing that consistently with discipline. And you will be fine. It's a nice little break over here. It's accumulation. That's a distribution downwards. Little V-shaped reversal. It's just collecting juice. We need more juice. That's true. We need more juice. We need more juice. These levels are going to be quite difficult to break. And, you know, because the thing is, like, once we start breaking, like, properly, we should just be off to the races here. Towards, like, 53.66. Resistance. Man, it's wild, chat. I think there's only live stream on YouTube which can... where we take our trades literally in the first minute of being on live, on stream. I've never seen that before. I've never seen people just take a trade in the first minute and then end stream. Only TFX concepts. Like, see, this morning I was on the chart for 27 minutes only. 27 minutes. That move took a long time to play out though. It was setting up. This trade right here, we would have been on stream for not even 1 minute. Not even 1 minute. That hourly didn't even open. That hourly didn't even this would have been like a few seconds. Or like, let's just say 1 minute. Yeah, I pride myself in that a lot because it's all about efficiency in this game. You don't want to burn out. You know, you want to make sure you're on the chart when you need to be on the chart, and your setup can come when, like, in real time. You know, I don't like the idea of always just waiting for some kind of like a previous level to tap or previous FVG. I don't like this. I like to trade the actual PA. Like, as we're moving, we're going to be trading. So as we continue to print, we're going to look and say, oh, you know, that looks interesting. The liquidity grab. Okay, now it's forming an inverted head and shoulders. Get a break. Awesome. Little clean range. And man, when it's forming in real time, you're actually reading price action. You're reading the candlesticks, the bodies, the wicks. You know, so I think it's gonna sharpen that sword of understanding PA a lot more than just, you know, drawing out zones and waiting for them to hit. You canceled your order. Oh, nice. That's a nice feature. Because usually the broker will just put you in the wherever next available seat. Which is annoying because it's like, man, you gotta pay for one seat and then it puts you in a different seat. Rather just cancel the order, right? Because you get that retracement sometimes. Like, you see it pull back down. It pulled back down. So sometimes you just get that retracement. Just wait for it. Pulls back down, get back in, and then go up. I was considering it, but I don't know how far that it pulled down. I've got to go on the second chart. When you go on the 1 minute, it just looks like it went up, but it didn't just go up. It went up, it pulled down, and then went up. So let's see what it's cooking. Maybe it's gonna break into a higher range right over here. Oh, we wait for the next setup. Got support, got resistance. We have a range of around 107 pips. Five kiss of death, maybe. Yeah, we got the 5 kiss of death as well. Little liquidity grab. You see, it's drawing orders from the lows. It's trying to push up, chat. It's trying to break these areas. It just needs to keep grabbing these orders. It keeps faking out the sellers over there. Just like we saw in the 5 minute here is the same thing that we're gonna see on the hourly time frame as well. But it's still not set up anything. It's kind of just moving right now. It's got on the 5 minute. Yeah, it's just moving. No edge. Don't got an edge in here. So we can't take a trade. No edge, no trade. Let it come down. Preferably something like this. Let it play around in this area for a bit. Kind of like set up. We gotta monitor price, see what it wants to do. Get a read on what it wants to do. But it's gonna come down and look to fill some of this clean range here. It's about like 71 pips. Or if we could just keep moving up. And try to get filled. Problem also might be that this is a H1 lower high. Oh, H1 lower high. I don't. Oh, wait, what? Candle's not closed yet. Here, this lower high. But hourly is not yet closed. Lower high, lower high. I just see a market that's trying to break above. That's all that I see. I don't see no higher highs or lower highs necessarily. I just see a market that's trying to break, even here on the 1 minute. See, it always behaves like in this specific way. Liquidity grabs, consolidation, fast moves, then comes down, and then pushes up, then comes down. It's like that battle between like, hey, we're trying to get up, but like we got the sellers coming in, and then trying to get those sellers again as liquidity. And for some reason, the sellers are coming in, pushing it down again. Doesn't make any sense. That's why we're getting a lot of this choppiness here, choppy PA today. Because I don't know, something on between the mental of the sellers and the buyers. Either that or there's some foul play going on. Because it is chopping quite weirdly. It's not clean. You see how the wicks are building up? Consistently building wicks. It's chopping. Candle's just moving like this. Is there like a real battle going on? Or there's a bit of foul play today? But you see this trade here played out. So I still don't see a shark in the water. As long as the setups are playing out. As long as it's respecting PA, it can be random as much as it wants in these areas. Like you don't care. Because there's no setup. There's no probability here. So it can be random. Do it, Goldie? Yeah, Goldie just needs to do something. It's Asia highs at the top. Alright, we got Asia high by 51.86. Yeah, we're looking to take out the Asia highs, possibly. Just don't see it. If this thing could come down a bit more. Pull down, set up again. Then we should be good. Man, I wish this was a trade right here though. We're like done and dusted. Now we gotta wait. You know why this is tricky? Because in principle, according to my stats, that should be a win. That should be marked. That should be a win right here. That should be, because you know, normally even like when you're back testing, you're not always accounting for certain things like that. So when you're gonna backtest, you're just gonna have a different type of results as well. So in principle, it should have been the win. So the problem with that is that usually if you're consistent, right, you want to be showing up and you want to be taking those types of trades where you think you're gonna have the best chance of playing out. The worst case is like when you miss the one that you think you're gonna take and that was gonna play out, because that always increases the risk, right? Because trading inherently is risky, right? So if you're gonna miss one move, then it's much riskier again for you to take the next move, especially if the first one played out. If the first one didn't, the first one did not play out, you know, awesome. That's now giving you more of an edge that the next one can play out. But man, if it did, just gotta keep swimming. All right, let's see if this thing comes down. Want it to come down and then retest these highs. I think once we break these high, we should be able to take over the Asia high here. It's not that far off. It's like 13.6 pips away. Just keep swimming. A lot of people stop swimming because they're gonna get discouraged. They're gonna be like, oh man, taking losses over here. But you see, look at these losses right over here. You just gotta keep swimming. It's loss, win, loss, win, loss. What are you gonna do? You just gotta keep swimming. Then it's gonna open up. Win, loss, break even, win, loss, win, loss, win. You just gotta keep swimming. You gotta keep swimming till it opens up again. You know, it's also dependent on market conditions. See, then it opens up nicely like this. You get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. And you're like, damn, I'm winning too much. I gotta take a loss. Boom, 1 loss, 1 win, loss, 1. And then it all is gonna just be dependent on the market conditions. You can't control the market conditions. You just gotta have to manage your risk when the variables just not playing out the way they should be. But you gotta keep going. Gotta keep riding through that storm. You know, like that song from Need for Speed. Riders on the storm. It give a man a bone, sweet melody and down. Riders on the storm. Right. Like Snoop Dogg. Riders on the storm. Yeah, I think it was this one, right? NFS Underground 2. Man, that was a jam. Every time that song came on. Yeah, it gets hot in that kitchen, but you gotta cook. Well said. Riders on the storm. I think it might give that setup what we're envisioning, because you know we just gotta visualize what we want to see, so when it happens we're gonna be ready. So that's what I'm anticipating. It's gonna come down, gonna retest these lows, and then this gonna be the accumulation, and it's gonna try and break out. You see that was like a baby one over here. Usually the baby ones can be quite powerful as well, but it is a baby one. I feel like this one would be more sustainable to take out that Asia high and attempt to keep pushing up a bit more. You gotta wait and see how that's gonna set up. It might even set up like sooner though. That's the thing. It might come down and then set up like sooner. Maybe get a break in an early break as it goes up for the higher one right there. So we always gotta play like chess, you know. You gotta think like, what's your opponent's moves? You know, how many of those moves can your opponent make? So you gotta already know your pieces on the chessboard. So we all don't know the pieces on the chessboard even. You don't know what game you're playing. You gotta know what game you're playing. So this is a board right here. We know what game we're playing, and we know what the variables can be that we're gonna catch a move. And you know, sometimes the market does these little sneaky things where it makes a trade valid but not really valid. Then that's when it gets difficult. But for the most part, we should be able to know the variables, how it's gonna print. Like here, I was trying to be sneaky for a second, especially with that doji close. But that doji close is actually valid, because sometimes those things can create like invalidations to what you're trying to look for. It's gotta come down. Yeah, it's gotta come down. Set up. It's doing literally the same thing it did this morning on this morning's trade. See, like this morning's trade was also like right here. Look at that. Look at this, and then look at this. It's the same thing. So we got like that fake out above here, fake out above here, resistance, resistance, doji, doji, bearish candle, bearish candle. Now the only thing is this candle came down like here and it moved down quick. You see, that was the candle that came in with volume right over there. So we're gonna see if this one comes in with volume as well. But at least this one had a setup. This one currently doesn't. But it's in the same kind of PA. It's kind of like holding today. It's holding, it's waiting. Might even take a buy above here. Gotta see how clean it looks. No, I'm not really keen about this. I think I'll wait for a bit more structure. And you take it and you go. If it makes a bearish candle and a big move structure, I will take from this first zone. Oh, a bearish candle and a big move structure. Yeah, that's the thing. It's done that variable that I'm not entirely sure about. It actually did one move on the chessboard that's usually something that I don't like to see. So that's why I prefer to see at least this candle here close like a bullish candle before any breaks above. Oh, look at this. Oh, we're getting the volume in, just like the previous example over here that we spoke about. Again, we see the same thing that happened during pre-London. It's happening right now. Look at this. Literally the same thing that we spoke about. I see volume is coming in. And it's coming in at the break. It actually gave a setup, chat. It actually gave a setup. Because there's this one little move right here. This one little move right here. I wanted a bit more confirmation, but it's there. I can see it, but it's just the market's just played it in a way that's got me thinking a bit harder than I like. You know, I don't like to think a lot. I can see it's there, but it's just like, man, sometimes market does this thing where it's gonna try and push you in. It's gonna see, you know, it's not always here to make it comfortable for you. So it's just gonna see who's gonna be taking these moves. See, like they took this move. It's a profitable move. It was about like 20 pips. 20 pips. They're doing literally the same thing that we caught this morning, right here. Look at that volume coming in. Then it's getting the wicks. Look at that liquidity grab. Then it's like pulling back again heavy. As you can see. So today is quite an interesting day. It's kind of choppy, but I like this bottom that we created here. You see, now that's what we wanted to see. For price to break above the highs. So as long as it keeps playing out like this, it's choppy, but it's somehow we can anticipate. See, this 5 minute goes up. It's gonna flip. Yeah, how we come up there is gonna be quite interesting, because it would be nice to have a new 5 minute candle open by the time we come up here. Like this. So we don't have to deal with the pullbacks. That's the worst thing. If it like breaks heavy, it can keep moving up. We've seen 5 minute candles do like even 100 pips, but it's just not comfortable. It's not comfortable. Because the worst thing is losing a trade because of a pullback. Because you know it's just a pullback, right? It's like, oh man, it's just a pullback. Because now you know the next candlestick is gonna try and do it again. But those are little tricks, you know, little tricks the market does sometimes. So I say you just gotta keep swimming. Because you know the thing is, trading, you can't always depend on your intuition to avoid a fake out and to take a trade. Because at the same time, sure, you could avoid some fake outs, but you'll also avoid profitable trades. And it just puts you overall in a position where you gotta always think. You always gotta think about like the worst. Like for example, you're always in a state of fear in a sense, like overly cautious, you know, which is not a good thing for someone who needs to be executing, because then you freeze. Sometimes it's better not to think, you know. We're in an environment here where it's sometimes better not to think. You gotta think too much and you're never gonna execute. You rather just execute, fail, and just get comfortable with executing and just building your sword in a way that you can execute, but also not completely blindly all the time. But better that than overly cautious. This candle's got 4 minutes on the 5. Just act like a smart dumbass and see what the world and people think of you. It's quite interesting to me. Yes, you know, some people are so dumb, they're smart. Have you ever met people like that? Like they say things so dumbly, but like it's so smart at the same time. And you don't know if they're actually dumb, but like, or actually intelligent. If like kind of mean to do that, or say certain things in the way they say it. Or maybe they don't know it. Maybe they just don't know it. They don't know they're dumb smart. Like, man, this guy know what he's saying. Sounds pretty smart, but for 1 minute now green and next 1 minute bearish. For 1 minute bottom wick, I take the it's 1 minute now green, next 1 minute bearish. For the 5 minute bottom wick, and you take the breakout. Oh, you want to take a... Yeah, I think I'm just going to wait here. Let me mark out the ranges. You always got to be inconspicuous. You know, like Marilyn Monroe, not Marilyn Monroe, Marilyn Manson. Like Marilyn Manson. Man, if you look at Marilyn Manson, you're like, who is this guy, man? This guy looks like a devil worshipper. You know, the way he is, that legend. But when you speak to him, man, he speaks with so much. You can just tell this guy's intelligent. Like, he looks weird as hell, but he's so intelligent the way he speaks. You'll be like, what? This guy's actually kind of cool. It looks weird. Looks weird, but I wouldn't mind, like, you know, hanging out with him. Let me show it for the youth who don't know who I'm talking about. This is Marilyn Manson. This guy looks so weird, but he'll probably pull your chick. He's got that weird aura, but he'll probably pull your chick. And he sounds really intelligent. This guy's eye always creeped me out. I remember we used to think this guy was a devil growing up. Alright, let's see if that volume can kick up. See if we can get a breakout. Give it a shot. Move over to the next idea. Because that's all you gotta do in this game. Let's see. It's okay, new 5 minutes opening. So this is good, new 5 minutes opening. I'd rather wait for this candle here to close. Get that new 5 minute open. You can see it's extended, so that's nice that we like to see it extended like this, so the new 5 minute also can extend through that level rather than this one breaking out. Would be nice if we still respect that resistance. All right, chat, let's see. Volume should be coming in. Bottom wick created. We should be able to hit the Asia highs. Alright, chat. Oh, man. Shit, it triggered me in. Why? But it didn't keep moving up. Oh, man. If I just waited just one more second, but it triggered me in. But it was a valid break. Oh, come on, Goldie. Man, that was just a Judas move. That was just a Judas move. I knew it. That was a fucking Judas move. I don't know who the hell is operating the market here today, but that was just such a scam, bro. I just got scammed. That was such a scam. What the hell is this? That setup was so freaking clean. That setup was so clean. Somebody's operating this, bruh. Somebody's operating. That was so clean. Anyway, W trade. That was so clean. Especially the way it broke and everything. That was like a good break. He already created the bottom way. I knew it. I knew something was cooking up. When it did that. When it pulled down to do this. That didn't make no freaking sense, Goldie. That didn't make no freaking sense. Someone operating this thing for sure. 100%. 100%. That's not price action. Like the way you see price move typically, that's not PA, man. PA doesn't do such things. But hey, W trade. That is not PA. That's not natural PA, bruh. Like candles don't do that stuff. They don't break like this and then come down to like skyrocket back up so aggressively. I got profit taking. You see again, market participants in and out. So you got those guys securing the profit. Like these, it's a fucking institutions, bro. Like because, for example, here, we couldn't get stuck in as retail traders because it moved too quick. For example, here, it triggers us in and it comes down, to pull back up, and then to profit take. You see that same pattern. It's the same pattern that happened here. Look, boom, profit taking, came down. Boom, trigger, profit taking, come down. But that show played out a lot smoother than it did. The reason I also didn't want to wait like an extra second is because the same thing that happened here. You see, like once he was getting triggered, it could just like move through it. So I didn't want to also just miss it by being overly cautious because we're expecting it to move through it. Gold is crazy this month. Yeah, but I've never seen a Judas move like that though. I haven't seen one like that in a while. Because the move itself, this is like an A+ setup. And it was so clinical as well, huh? It just moved like butter. That's just literally how it felt like. Felt like a buttery, smooth criminal. MJ style. See, damn, I missed it. I didn't close it. I was so sure it would be safer from below. I got it, didn't follow the rules. Smooth criminal, man. You a smooth criminal. P&L is positive? Yeah, we're still positive over here. We're still positive. It's just unnecessary, you know? Business expense. I guess. You gotta think about it like a business expense. Crazy, man. I've never seen that. I can't remember the last time I saw that kind of smooth criminal. It's not like I got in too early. It actually broke. That was a proper break. It's gonna have to try it again another trade later. Come on, Goldie. I think push up like almost 40 pips too. Will you be looking for another trade? Seems like it will set up again to test those highs to actually keep going to 5,200. Yeah, I mean, I gotta set up another trade. I'm just not gonna do it now because there's clearly a shark in the water. Because for an A plus setup like this to do that, what kind of sub do you expect me to catch? Like if this one even creates like such Judas behavior, you know, what kind of setup can I even catch? That was like an A plus setup. The only thing to do is just to wait for the next session and then to do it again. That's what they want you to do. They want you to overtrade. Closing MT5. Happy for today's go by. You got in early. I would have got in early too if there was a move. If there was a entry right there. That's it. That's why I mean, like, sometimes the first trade, if you don't catch the first trade, then you gotta look and see, like, you know, the probabilities of the next trade, because you're still in the market. There's still that risk factor on the table. So you see, like here, basically, I think that was all, you know, sometimes where I have this relationship with the market, sometimes when I look at things like this, I feel like it's also intentional, because you see that one didn't have any Judas swings to the downside. It just couldn't get you filled in. So it kind of like pushes you over as well. Like it kind of pushes you over here, you know, because there's a specific way that we trade. A lot of people can find consistency in, and that's where we find ourselves. So it kind of like pushes over the remainder right here. Like there's something super intelligent about the market. I've been trading for years now, that even though it's printing like this, like you can see it's like printing, candles are coming down like this, it's kind of already envisioning. It's like chess, you know, it's literally like chess, how you can already envision the way the next hands are going to play out. So even as it looks like it's just happening in real time, sometimes it's kind of like planning ahead as well, certain things like that. And I think you're going to only understand that truly once you stick to a system, a strategy, for long enough that you understand how it operates, what's natural for it, what's not natural. You know, there's just a regular and irregular patterns of it. That's the only way that you're going to understand it. Really wanted that dub. Setting up again. Yeah, it's gonna set up again. It's just profit taking. Those guys are already out. I mean, whoever survived it, some people got bigger stops. They're already out. They made their money. But majority of us, I don't think we did survive it. The market always pulls back sufficiently enough to get what it needs to get. Because also having a wide stop like this, the problem with having a wider stop like this is because next time when you're looking for, instead of 20 pips, you're looking for 26 pips to make a 1-to-1, it's going to hit 20 pips and then come down. Smart, man. It's smart. No, don't play with the market, chat. Don't play with the market. It's going to make you move it this time, so next time the TP doesn't hit. So you can't avoid it. You just got to stay in place and keep doing what you're doing. You see, that's what I mean. Look at the results. It's a market condition. You see in March, it's been like loss, win, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. It's a market condition right now. You just wait till this thing opens up for me. You just wait. Just waiting for it to open up again. You just got to stick with it. This is usually where people get shaken out. Usually people like strategy hop and all that stuff. They're like, oh man, this was working so well before. Now it's not working. I'm a hop somewhere else. When you hop somewhere else, then it's just going to open up like this. Because you haven't yet figured out the natural cluster of winning and losing trades, and also the context of overall market environment. So I'm gonna wait for one of these open spaces over here. See, it's just the same period like in August. It is August. Lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, break even, lose, win, 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 lose, win, lose, lose. You stick with it. Win, 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 lose, win, win, win. Lose, win, lose, win, win, lose, win, lose. Break even, win, 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 break even. Win, lose, win, win, lose, 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 win, lose, lose. Win, lose. And just gotta keep sticking with it. Win. It's also not about high hit rate. It's also about managing it's sort of like also managing your risk, you know? Like manage your risk. Like see in this trade, I managed my risk. Instead of losing 2%, I gotta lose like 1%. But what can you do? We can't do nothing. So I didn't send the signal as well, by the way. I didn't send the signal because I saw it was pulling down aggressively. But since we took it here live, we're gonna put it on the spreadsheet. 430. Oh wow, look at this. Man, it's moving up again. See, I told you, chat, it's trying to break out. It's trying to break out. I don't know why it's been such a Judas though. Like, god damn, Goldie. Sometimes the market's so greedy. You know, the market is like rich people. With rich people, no matter how much you give them, they're always going to want more. You know, they just want more. It's like human nature, bruh. Like, you just can't give a cow a break. You're gonna milk the cow, you're gonna eat the cow, you're gonna use all that you can from the cow. Broke the high. I seem not focused on the chart. Man, what does that even mean? I'm 100% focused. Like, how would you say I'm not focused on the chart? We just broke down this whole freaking... Man, I don't know, bro. Like, this is what happens when you do things for free. People just gonna shit on things when you do it for free. You also gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. The market's not always moving. Like, we literally just had a trade, man. Chill. It broke out. It retraced. Just relax, man. It takes time for things to set up. Things don't happen always back to back to back. Like right now, it's still trying to break above these highs. So what happened was, you know, it just profit taken, it retraced, and now it's just pushing up again. Well, what are you gonna do to catch this? This is just like a break and a retest of 51.83. So if that was part of your rules, then yes, please by all means be locked in and have your orders ready to execute if you're looking for break and retest. But I don't look for break and retest like this. So it's gonna need to set up again. Yeah, they want it back to back and then complain why that they're losing. Or I think that was an incredible, honestly, I for the value that to understand what just happened here, I think that was incredible value. You know, like some of you understand it, some of you don't, but to understand price action like this, it gets you on a more elevated level. Correct? Like, this is just beyond sometimes just what you see with your, of course we're seeing it with our eyes, but it's also a deeper understanding of PA. That you're not going to get that type of value really anywhere, because most people are just going to draw a FEG or a PD array and say, hey, when it comes here, get this. So it's also important to understand like these smaller intricate things of what price action does, because that's what actually helps you have a level head. Because a lot of the time you're just getting too emotional when you're taking losses without actually trying to understand the market for what it is. You know, it's like if an animal bites you or scratches you, like, are you going to get angry at the animal for it? You just got to understand this an animal, bro. Like you can domesticate it, you can put it in clothes, you know, but at the end of the day, it's an animal. An animal is an animal. So it's like that's what we're trying to teach you beyond just the simple technicals. Because if you don't understand that bit of it, then how can you have love for such a creature? You know? Because it's gonna bite you once and then what, you're gonna throw it away? So that's the whole idea with PA as well. Like you gotta respect it, you gotta understand like it does these things, but it's just the nature of it's the nature of the game. The important thing is being consistent with it, right? Being consistent with it. My wife just started trading your system, still learning, and I'm trading 30 to 40 minute by her side. It's just killing it because she controls risk really well. She's out trading live account $400 for 3 weeks. She's out six 675. Same trades with help, but most all done by her. Only using my system, trades PA, no SMA, no other shit, just PA and timing. She's still over trading, but learning for now. Oh, amazing, man. Holy. I don't think I could ever get my previous partner to learn how to trade. That's major W. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. Very good. Yeah, one thing about me, chat, just so you know right now, I'm not gonna fall victim to this whole trader live streamer thing. Just because you're gonna have a losing trade and you don't understand why, I'm not gonna fall victim to that, bro. Like I have a system and I follow that system, and that's what makes me money at the end of the day. I don't make money from courses to sustain my lifestyle. This is all coming. Even YouTube doesn't pay me that much, so all I can do is provide value, keep following my rules. If you understand, awesome. If you don't understand, man, I've seen this pattern happen over and over and over again. And that's not gonna happen here. This is not about entertainment, man. Like whoever wants to actually learn how to trade, they're gonna learn how to trade. Like, because you know, sometimes you get these unrealistic expectations from people thinking that you can avoid certain things like this, when in reality all the trader here is doing in his live stream is just following his rules. And he does that consistently even beyond the live stream. That makes him profitable. But the majority of people on the internet, they don't understand that. So I'm not going to fall victim to that. So if you got a problem with it, like, it's just going to take you longer. Basically, this is just going to be a thing that you tried, and a year from now you're going to look back at it and say, well, trading didn't work out for me, so it must have been a scam. But there's a select few group of people who actually understand the process. And like when we break things down, they understand like how important is it for somebody to say certain things, because sometimes people are gonna not fully give you the broad idea of like how their system operates and what you can expect from it. You're gonna draw a trend line over here and then grow something like this and then say this is a safety line, and then you're gonna believe that's a safety line, and it's very, very technical and vanilla. There's no real deep connection. You can tell that there might not be as a deep connection to the PA beyond just like some, you know, something they're gonna learn like very simple, like draw a trend line, do this, do that, blah blah blah. But I think we're gonna take a different approach with trading. You know, we understand it for what it is, not for what we want. Yeah, I want to win, you want to win, we all want to win, but we also gotta understand it for what it is, right? That's why we don't adjust our stop losses unnecessarily. Like if it's a 20 pip stop loss, it's 20 pip stop loss. If that's what the stats say, the data says like 20 pips, it's 20 pips. Because now the moment you start doing that, as we mentioned, it's going to affect the whole, it's going to affect the balance of the dish, basically. So if the recipe says, you know, you're going to use like 1 cup of milk, you're not going to use 2 cups of milk. I mean, you can sauce it the way you want, but that's gonna also come with experience. You know, when you got more experience, then you can maybe sauce it the way you want, but now you just gotta stick with it. What do I think about Callisto FX? I was on the live yesterday. Oh, he still lives? I thought he stopped streaming. I just stopped the live after a big loss. I thought Callisto stopped streaming. He did what? He just stopped the live after a big loss. I don't know why our industry is like this. It's because majority of the people just don't want to freaking learn, man. So it's so difficult to manage emotions on stream sometimes. You know, it's like one thing managing your own emotions, but now you got to think about imagine like trying to manage a noob's emotion. Like someone who's maybe just been in the game for like 3-6 months. It's very difficult because if you're not supplementing them with wins, they're like a very major deficit because they're already in a deficit. So they're expecting you to balance out the deficit, but it's kind of like you can't approach that problem with something that you can't control. You have to start looking at what can you control. But the problem is those types of people that actually create the majority. It's 90% of the trading space. It's difficult. I think that's why ICT turned off his comments. Because if you can turn off the comments, then you just focus on the craft. You can focus on the craft. We can do what we do and not read dumb shit comments. But at the same time, how can you connect with the audience if you turn off the comments? So it's a kind of like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't scenario. And that's why people put paywalls at the end of it all. They say, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this and then put a paywall. And that's why people do that and don't do it for free. But since we're strong and we've been in these realms and we're used to these realms, I think we can survive the trials and tribulations. You know, like for example, someone like Lambo Raul or someone like Alex FXG, they're too used to the paywalls and the lifestyle and that side of it. It would be harder for them to do this on a day-to-day basis. Much more difficult. But it's okay, chat. We're here. There are very few people who are willing to do this. And most of them who are just doing it, they're just doing it for their own needs. Let's see. 30 minute trying to break above the 1 hour. The 1 hour here. All right, nice. 4 hours still coming on real good. You gotta create like a support. Let's try and keep moving up. That's still my idea, you know, take it or leave it. Like I'm gonna try again, see if it's gonna be moving up later. See if we can catch another continuation and just keep on swimming. Because, you know, when you're going to trade a mental clarity, because you see, we're not taking back to back, right? We can see the amount of setups which are happening, just like we do on stream every day. We can see, okay, executed here. There was a trade here. Since then, there hasn't been anything else. So you're kind of operating more from a point of mental clarity. You can see how the trades are coming, and especially when you space them out like that, it's it keeps you a lot more leveled, especially throughout the whole day. So you're not stuck in this loop of making money, losing money, trying to FOMO back in, revenge trading. So you just got to give yourself time. So, you know, we had one pre-London. We got one London. We're going to have one pre-NY. And just try and execute as clearly as possible TFX concepts. He was on an analysis, and the second, oh, send and enter, and everybody lost their account. It's because he can't deal with the. I don't know, like how many people watch it. Maybe it's like 1,000 people, 2,000 people. It's sometimes like you want to win. If you don't win, the chat gets discouraged. It's an unfortunate thing. I feel as well as a live streamer. I don't know why it happens, but it just is. It's just the name of the game. But the problem is like the chat doesn't always understand that this thing is about clusters. It's trading is about clusters. It's not about just winning today or losing tomorrow. It's about what does it look like in the end of the month, end of the week. You see, but that's the internet for you, man. Like that's just how the internet is. They gotta remember usually like the last thing that happens or the immediate thing of what's happening. Just they kind of want to see like right now. They want to see it now. So I don't know, man. But like you shouldn't end the stream just because of that. You know, like people gonna have their own opinion. At the end of the day, just do your thing. Gotta be mentally strong, you know? You gotta show up every day to the market. Gotta be mentally strong for the market. Not for anybody else. That's, you know, that's the important thing. Because, you know, if you think I'm mean, man, let me introduce you to the market. Ooh, TradingView is lagging. That's why when they say trading is not for everybody, chat, like you're gonna hear people say that. It's true, it's not. It really isn't. You have to be the type of person who's stoic enough to not let certain things affect you. You should watch Pat Whelan's chat. People tell him he can't trade, yet it says on live for 3 hours. Yeah, you know, of course, like with numbers, if you got bigger numbers, you know, it's like you're definitely gonna get a lot more people say crazy shit. The more people who watch you, correct? So it's a true testament to somebody who's already trading and has to deal with the market, and then they gotta deal with this other side of it, which can sometimes affect your ability to trade the market as well. So it can be risky if you don't know what you're doing. Because usually you want to be in monk mode. You know, when you're learning to trade, typically you want to be in monk mode. You don't want to have a lot of things gonna be affecting your routines. But I think, you know, when you gotta have a system and you've been trading that system for a while, it's kind of hard for the market to shake you out of it. Like, sure, some days you're gonna have like maybe a day you overtraded, you took a necessary risk, but it's easier to bounce back because, you know, if you've done it once, you can do it again. That's how you got to think about it. You can do it again. Don't let NPCs bring your energy down. Stay cracked and keep the main character energy on fleek. Yes, sir. We need that NPC energy as well, because if we're not getting it, that means the channel's not growing. So the more we get it, that's gonna be a good sign. More haters means that people are noticing. Yeah, it's just you gotta focus on it. Focus on keeping chill. I'm chill right now for the market. I'm chill. I'm not gonna let anything force me into anything. You know, we keep watching it. We keep watching it. It's gonna set up again. You gotta stay on routine, because that's how you make money. And I like money. I don't know about you guys, but I like money. You know, I don't like to gamble in the market. That's the last thing that I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna gamble. I'm just gonna wait. Gold rises on softer dollar, easing inflation concerns. Let's see. Gold rises softer dollar, easing concerns, high energy costs, inflation. President Trump said the war in Iran could end soon. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much already ended. He already took out the main piece of the chessboard on day one. You know, that war for me seems to have already ended. Powell and the Fed are watching the same crude charts as everyone else ahead of the next week's policy decision. Yeah, I love the way they said that because it's true. You know, we're all looking at the same chart right now. No matter where you are in the world, we're all looking at the same chart. So what does that mean? That means when you get your entry confirmations, provided they're good, you will have a higher chance of having consistency with that approach. Because we're all looking at the same thing at the same time. The internet went off for TradingView. That's weird. How'd the internet just go off for TradingView? MT5 is still working. Zoom, Discord, livestream. Alright, we're back. We are back. We need more haters. You see, the thing is, I need more haters. I don't have enough haters. The problem is, like, if I don't have enough haters, if I don't have enough pushback, it also makes me weak. I need to sharpen that sword. That sword of dealing with a lot of dumb shit. You know, the only way I can sharpen that sword is if there's an influx of that. Otherwise, then it's gonna, you know, always take longer. Need to sharpen the sword. You know, one thing about me, I'm like a sponge. Like, I'm always looking to learn from whatever opportunity. I know sometimes, you know, the human psychology, we do things we don't mean to do, but we know subconsciously that we're doing it, but we don't mean to do it. It's just a reaction. But like deep behind that reaction is like where that true learning is. Because sometimes you actually have to do it, right? You have to get it out so you can look at yourself in third person and be like, all right, what are you doing over here, Vic? You know, you see you're reacting in this way, quite interesting. So let's see how we can fix that next time. You know, that's kind of like how I look at things all the time, 24/7. Why do I do the things that I do? And it's something that you need to do as well. There's, especially as a trader, you gotta look and see, like, out of the trades you've taken today, why did you take those trades? You know, look at yourself from a third person perspective. What was the reason? Was it FOMO? Were you trying to replicate something? You should just fall in love with getting better. Like all realms. Because trading is beyond just the technicals. Because a lot of the time, like when we're going to start something, even if it's like, let's say drop shipping, right? Because that used to be very popular. It's we want the kind of cookie cutter method. But like you get the cookie cutter method, but you still have to want to be able to learn how to do it. Like with dropshipping, someone can give you a perfect way to make money right now with, let's say, whatever's trending. That could be like fidget spinners. You can make money with fidget spinners. And then when fidget spinners stop being trendy and stop selling, at least you have the foundation to what made you all that money with a fidget spinner. And now you just have to get, or you have to enjoy that process of looking for the next best thing rather than just sticking with what was taught to you as a one-to-one. Correct? So that's why, you know, reflection, self-reflection is always going to play a key role in anybody's success. Because every day you have an opportunity to get better. Like you can literally, by the time the day ends today, like I want you to look back at your day and say, how did I get 1% better? Like, what was that one thing that kind of changed it for me? And look at this. We got a shotgun play. Starting to break above resistance. Close above 51.85. Nice range if can break the highs. About like 70. It's about like 78. 78 pips. We just want to make money. We all want to make money. Money is something that you have to respect and be indifferent from it. You have to respect it and you have to be indifferent from it at the same time. Money is very paradoxical. You know, it's everywhere but hard to catch. Respect it but be indifferent from it. Very paradoxical. Just a piece of paper, man. Just think about it. That's all that money is. Imagine, why is it so hard to make a piece of paper? Right? Why? What is this like psychological, almost spiritual thing that we have with money? That it's so hard to make it, you know? It's just money at the end. Like, just really think about it. What is it? It's just a piece of paper. It's just $1,000 is just a bunch of $1 bills. So why are we so like having this relationship with money, right? Like, because you know the thing about the way rich people treat money is also very different from the way brokies treat money. Because a rich person can spend a lot of money and always think that money is going to come back to them. So it comes back in double. It comes back double to them. You know, like think about Mr. Beast, for example, the largest YouTuber. Mr. Beast, he says he's cash poor. He says most people probably have more money in the bank account than him because like all his money just goes back into making his videos. That's what Mr. Beast always literally says. All the money I make from YouTube goes back into YouTube. So why are people with money always so easy to let go of the money? And why are people without money always pinching? Like penny pinching. Oh man, you know, $50 for a course? That's too much. That's too much of a business expense. Then you got someone like Mr. Beast and you all want to be like Mr. Beast. But Mr. Beast doesn't penny pinch, you know? That's a funny thing about money. Because now you put yourself in a very difficult place. You're trying to make something without having any risk. You know, you're trying to make something, but you're not understanding how to make it. So it's never going to be attracted to you. Alright, it's starting to break again, but I need this candle. 5 minutes. That's a 1 minute. Oh, that was a 1 minute shotgun. I thought it was a 5 minute right here. Yeah, you can't penny pinch, man. You know penny pinching. Also, if you look at the societies which penny pinch, Japan penny pinches. Japan has a very serious work culture where saving is more important than personal development. Working for your company is more important. Personal development. But like most of those people, they put way too much work into working for somebody else, making somebody else richer. They're gonna focus on themselves. They could achieve a lot more. Japanese, Chinese culture are also quite similar. The Chinese culture is, if you ever heard like Kaizen, Kaizen is a Japanese thing for working really, really hard. Let me just get the full definition. Kaizen is a Japanese business philosophy of continuous improvement of working practices, personal efficiency. So that's what I would say those cultures have, right? The problem is they usually do it for their companies. They don't do it for themselves. But a lot of people, anyway, in general, have this ability to get a lot of shit done if they focus like a bit on themselves a little bit more. Like if they invested in themselves a little bit more. So if you look like someone like Mr. Beast, he practices a lot of Kaizen in the fact, but in this sense, he invests in himself a lot more than anything else. So just like in trading, you want to practice a similar philosophy of Kaizen, right? You want to invest in yourself a lot more because this is essentially like the same mental model that most entrepreneurs would have anyway at the end of the day. So you can be a penny pincher, but you also can't be approaching this in the wrong mindset of trying to get rich quick. You have to respect it and be indifferent from it. And just like Anton Krill says, man, there's a hedge fund trader at Goldman Sachs. You have to respect money. You got to be indifferent from it. You got to be able to differentiate between enjoyment and business. You know, so whenever you take your trades, you got to journal your trades. Whenever someone's going to run like an efficient business or anything that they're really trying to get better at, they're always journaling. They're always keeping track of how that progress is coming about. So I would say like that's a major thing that you should do if you haven't yet started doing it, is journaling. And that's going to change your game in every aspect, not just on the charts like this, but literally everything that you do. You're going to get better because you're journaling it. You can see the progress. See, like here, we just journaled one trade. One trade we journaled. You know, we're just kind of like journaling this trade as well. And we're waiting for the next setups to happen. Then we're gonna see how they play out, like with a paper trade. Then we're also gonna kind of like journal it, and we'll just keep doing that. Stay sharp. Because we already know what we're looking for. So we don't have to do the physical act of writing it down on a piece of paper. Because it's already been written down in the WAP database. We already know what we're doing. So now we're kind of like doing it. Even when we're not trading, we want to be doing that same action. Keep that sword sharp. So when it comes time to execute again, you execute, and you just stay in that zone. It's like a tunnel. You got to have tunnel vision. Like 70 pips. It might be still looking to correct this move. We're just flirting with the Asia highs by 51.86. That tunnel vision, chat. Like if you see, you know, there's a thing that says all a man needs, if you gotta have a man's room, all a man needs is a gym, his workstation, a bed. That's all that a man needs. A man can be worth billions of dollars, bro. Like a man can be worth hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, but all a man needs is a gym, his workstation, and a bed. Look at the way Elon Musk works. Guy slips in his factory, right? Look at the, I'm just about to finish Snowfall right now. So that CIA agent is worth $73 million. He had his chick come to his house, and his chick is like, you're worth $73 million, and you don't have food in your fridge. You don't have this. You don't even have your own home. You don't have this. You don't have that. Because, man, all that CIA agent does, he's so focused on his patriarchal duty that's all he does. He just goes to bed. He goes to work. He doesn't gym, but like he's fully locked in. So that money is like just a byproduct. And when you operate in that realm, man, that's when you start making it, you wouldn't be emotionally attached to it anymore, because that's just gonna be a result of the effort that you're putting in. You know, it's just a byproduct. But remember, it's just a piece of paper at the end of the day. There's no true inherent value in a piece of paper. It's only the value that we give to it. But there's value in making yourself better. Japanese have just become a sad culture. Yeah. It's tough out there, because in Japanese culture also, let's say if you have a quota of 100 sales, right? You have a quota of 100 sales. Even if you do 200 sales, the boss doesn't really recognize that, because of Kaizen, you have to do above 200 sales. And you do 200 sales, 300 sales, like literally stories of people dying on the desk in their offices. And they're doing that because they want to work as hard as possible. Very hard workers. Japanese, also Chinese. Man, if a road in China, it gets like caved in, it will be worked on in the morning and it will be done by nighttime. In some countries, a road gets caved in. That same pothole is the same pothole you knew when you're 10 years old. It's the same pothole when you're going back home in your 30s or 40s. You're going to still hit that same pothole because they don't have that same Kaizen. The unfortunate thing is they like apply a lot more to benefiting a company than themselves. Because if you ever meet like Japanese or Chinese people, they're like very respectful, right? Very respectful about you. They're very respectful. So almost kind of like oppressed, but they don't see it that way. But they have a lot of potential because even just having the ability to work that hard for somebody shows a lot about your character and what you can achieve. So we can learn a lot from different cultures and that sort of thing. Just having a broader mindset beyond just I get trading and lifestyle and everything, but a much broader mindset beyond that's important. Now that way you wouldn't get discouraged. Remember, you're doing more inner work than anything when it comes to trading. It's more inner work than getting a win or a loss. Right? We want to get a win, we don't want to get a loss. But that's not what it's about. It's about the process and sticking with it. Because if you can't stick with it, then you won't get the result, right? It's literally the same in anything in life. Like even right now, you see, I'm pretty much up for the week because I went up for the month. Because the month started off with a bang as well. Right? Started off with a bang because of the war. So when the war broke out, we thought gold buys. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get a big trade. Because we don't typically get such events happen that often. So we got a pretty big trade. But even minus that big trade, I would still be up about 12%, which is pretty good. On average, you want to be aiming for around maybe like 10% a month. On average, we do about 20 to 30%. But I think this year, man, we're still expecting a lot more fireworks. FOMC, Fed rate decisions. And we'll just see how gold starts to play out. So I feel like it should open up soon as well. You can see the dailies getting ready to have a move. Right? Like we're going to start moving here soon. About 1,278 pips to daily resistance. 4 hour looks like it's about to break out as well. We're about to accumulate. Volume's about to come in. Money's about to start flowing here. So once we start dipping into these ranges, I think that's something we could see more in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And get some further upside. And that's it, man. That's my Kaizen. Beyond just the noise of social media. Yes, sir. Woods, I gotta send you that. I gotta send you that plan, man. Gotta send you the plan. But remember, that's just gonna be a template, right? I haven't packaged it in a way that's gonna be what do you call it? Like usually with the diet plans like this, those guys charge like $4,000, bro. Like because they're gonna take you under the wing and they're gonna make sure that you're doing everything according to your living circumstances. Right? They're going to be your dietitian. They're going to make sure they get you on the apps that you need to be on these apps. And they can track your performance and keep you going. So I'm going to give you the plan. But you practice that Kaizen, my friend. And that's all that you need. You got a foundation. So that's all that you need. A lot of people just need the foundation, right? To kick things off. You get that foundation, then you got to go do that research. I haven't forgotten about it. Welcome to the UK. Yeah, that's the UK for you. Portholes older than you. Man, the Chinese are so quick with it. Yeah, they're gonna fix everything real quick. You know, it's a problem as well because when they go to other countries, you might think they're racist or something because they're gonna say like, oh man, look at this guy. Like, why are you so lazy? And then they're gonna shout at you and everything. You might think that they're a racist, but it's because of the way they've been raised. In their own country, they're expected of so much. So when they come at you with this energy that you feel offended by the energy. You know, it's kind of like a same thing that some of you might feel like I have maybe on stream. Like sometimes you think I'm mean to you, but because I'm really hard on myself as well. So I expect like if I expect so much from me, I expect so much from you. Mr. Beast is not the best example if you understand the rabbit hole. What's the rabbit hole? Oh, taxes. Yeah, it's smart play. All right, chat. I'll be right back.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Right. We are back. We are back. Goldie's still setting up. I haven't seen no setups yet. Since the 2 that happened during the London Open, it's still setting up. But it's a nice PA today. It's a very good day here. By that little Judas thing that happened earlier, it's pretty good. Because the way that we're determining how healthy the market is by the swings, right? Like how open it is, as we typically mentioned. Like you see very nice healthy swings, and it's open spaced. A lot more different than what we experienced these earlier sessions here. Also like a bit during shortly before the London Open. You see a lot more compressed over here. A lot more tricky to trade than this. So as long as the market stays like this, I think the next trade we take should be a W. Could end off the day here. I'm up about 2%, but I will see if there's anything interesting that we still gotta execute. So remember, it's all about that process, right? Being consistent, knowing what it is that you're looking for, and just applying it consistently. What is this, Jabba Joe? Compared to today's mid effort, those guys were maxing their stats 24/7. It's giving legendary vibes. What is that? It's just a statistic with everything. Digital now. You don't even have paper. Yeah, you don't even have paper anymore. All you see is just numbers in your bank account. You know, like it's not even your money. Like when you put money into a bank account, it's just a number. It's kind of like we get money in the broker. It's just a number. It doesn't actually mean that this $1,000 here is my $1,000. It's just a number that the software has put there, and when it's time to pay, then the company is gonna, you know, sort themselves out. But it's just a number. I don't own cash in the bank. That's not your money. If you put money in a bank, you get insurance, maybe up to $100,000. That's about it for most places. But that's it. You know, that's all that you're gonna get in the worst case scenario. Even if you got like 70 million in there, they'll give you back 70 million. That's not your money. Your money is maybe 100K. That's how much you're insured. Worst case scenario. See, the thing about money, it's a very interesting thing because, you know, when you start making a lot of it, it also becomes a huge problem. It becomes a burden as well to keep it. That's why people who make like a lot of money, they're going to have a bigger target on their back. Correct? And when you get a lot of money, it's not necessarily going to protect you if you have a bigger target on your back. Because at least for somebody who has a good amount of sum to be comfortable without having any targets, they're able to survive off that capital. But those with a big target, man, it's very risky. The avenues of how to protect it. You have to seriously diversify your risk. Maybe trust funds, crypto. What do you call it? Donations. Donations. Investing in businesses. Real estate. Land. Government loans. Yeah, that's how you're gonna have to think about it, because you can't keep it in a bank anymore. So those are problems that we want to have, right? Give me all the problems. When you're gonna make money, you gotta say, I want the money, but I also want the problems that come with the money. Give me those problems. You know, when I was so broke, I was like, man, I know money can give you a lot of problems, but give me those problems. I gotta deal with them. I like the problems. If it means more hate on the internet, if it means that I need to get stronger, I need to get better in some way, shape, or form, give me those problems, God. Because God, He'll never give you a problem that you can't solve. Always remember that. There's nothing that He's putting in your life that He did not expect you to solve. And sometimes these problems are only there so that He can direct you, kind of like push you a bit, you know? Because if you're going in this direction, like very good, but He's going to try and push you. So He says, okay, I know we're going on this journey, but you know, God likes to do detours. He likes detours. He doesn't like he's the type of guy who likes to enjoy the journey, you know? Go on a road trip, He's going to say, hey, let's stop by here. Let's check out this little scenery. You know, let's do this, let's do that, because you're going to learn a lot on that journey. So instead of just going straight, man, by the time you reach the destination, you're going to be a whole different person, man. You know, you're going to see some enlightenment. Rather than if you just went straight like this, according to your plan. You know how boring. That would be boring. Life would be boring. If it just went all linearly like that. You see, like God take you on a detour. So you gotta see that detour for yourself. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve in life right now. It's not happening for you. It's just you've been taken on a detour. Just think about it that way. So there's a lesson here somewhere that you're gonna learn before you start getting a bit closer back on the road. That you gotta learn. Unfortunately, you know, like people who don't understand they're in a detour, it can be bad because you might change the path. So instead of like going this way, you start changing the path because you're not understanding the grand scheme of things. So yeah, just keep moving with integrity, honesty, and you're always gonna be on the right track. Yeah, be honest with yourself. Did you overtrade today? Did you follow your rules today? Did you do journaling? If you did all those 3 things and more, then you're on the right track. Just keep going with the detour. You gotta get back on the road. If you didn't do those things, then you're just in a consolidation phase. And you know, and at that point, then you're either gonna break the right way or you're gonna fake yourself out. The reason people fake themselves out is because they look for shortcuts most of the time. They don't move with integrity. When you're gonna look for shortcuts, you just always scam yourself. That's the only way you're gonna scam yourself. Like you see all the time with people who buy physical gold. People buy physical gold don't like going to the actual gold dealers because of the markup fees. They go to another guy, and then eventually there are stories on the news. This guy got scammed $1 million worth of gold, right? Because he was trying to take that shortcut. He wasn't gonna do it legit, and it's something that happens so often with gold. Because what they do is they make it seem like a good price. They'll have a guy, and you'll go with the guy to where the gold is, and they're gonna test the gold, and it's all gonna look legit. Then they're gonna give you like as kind of a key to a safe. They're gonna say the gold is in the safe. By the time you get there, you're gonna see it's like not actual gold. So there's a way they do it, and these people get screwed all the time. And it all comes from taking shortcuts. So don't scam yourself by taking a shortcut, because people in trading do the same thing. They think they're gonna take a shortcut and be rich in the market, but they're just scamming themselves. But they don't know they're doing that, and then they call trading a scam. But you're just scamming yourself. That's why they say the gym works, but not everybody looks like the way that they would look if if the gym actually worked, because they're scamming themselves. They go to the gym on the weekends, or they go to the gym like half-assing it. Basically, they just half-ass it and wonder why they're not seeing their results. Or they're going to diet for like 4 weeks, and then 1 week they're eating McDonald's, right? And they're like, man, the gym doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work if you treat it that way. Anything works, but you have to push it to the point of breakthrough. That's what I would call, that's the kind of effort that you want to put into something. Push it till the point of breakthrough. Don't half-ass anything. Because when you half-ass it, it's going to take you longer to get to the point of breakthrough, because you have to regenerate that momentum again. It's the same in trading. Like, just keep the pressure on. Don't get distracted by all these other things which are going to derail you from your purpose. You must keep that pressure on, man. You know how many times my family members right now are by the beach, chat. Like, my family members are enjoying the freaking ocean, the sun. I'm doing considerably better than them, and look at me. I'm here working. I'm here on stream. They're out there enjoying their lives. I could do the same thing, but that's not what should drive you at the end of the day. There's always gonna be that Kaizen. Remember, Kaizen. My buddy last week was like, hey Vic, I'm by the bar right now. Why don't you come through? Let's have a couple of beers. I can't, bro. I'm on a diet. Told him, you're not gonna see me for maybe in 3 months. I'll see you, and then we can have those calories together. We can enjoy a beer together. But from now until then, I gotta work on my 10 to 15% body fat challenge. So I'm not gonna be seeing you, mate. Then he's gonna say, oh, okay, I get it. And they say, awesome, you're a good friend. Because those people who are gonna love you, they're gonna support you. They're not gonna hold you down. So you must be stern with people. When you want to achieve things, you must be stern with people and make sacrifices. Right? That's what trading is, man. Make a lot of sacrifices. A lot of nights out, I could have gone, made some new buddies, and I had some really good nights, but made that sacrifice. And I still do up to this day. And I don't know when I will stop making that sacrifice until I'm fulfilled. It's the same thing like politicians. Politicians, man, they're gonna work their whole lives into retirement. Even they're gonna still want to run for presidency. Look how old Trump is. Trump is like 70 years old, because that's the character they've built. They can't even imagine a life where they're just chilling. It's a self-fulfilling life. Just enjoy the Diet Coke. You know, the thing about me, it's you gotta know yourself. I think I'm gonna be quite tempted sometimes, you know. It can be quite tempting. Because I like to really enjoy it. So I kind of gotta do what I gotta do to make sure I don't break rules. Because I don't know how to do it. Like when I do something, I do 100%. I don't know how to do half. I do 100%, man. You're the type that doesn't eat McDonald's. Did you see all the CEOs of fast food chains are coming out and saying, hey, come try my burger. It's an amazing burger. And they all just kind of respond. This is about to set up too. When it creates a support, maybe that's to break the high, then it's probably going to go up. There still hasn't been a setup. Yeah, but a lot of these CEOs, since McDonald's CEO couldn't eat that burger, they're all coming out the woodworks now and saying, hey, come try my burger. But they're all the same person in a different font. Where there's purpose, it's more fulfilling. How is my baby meal after stream? Oh, it's really good. You just gotta enjoy it. Gotta enjoy it. Take it slow, because you know, if you eat slow enough, in 20 minutes your brain catches up to the fact that you're eating, so you're gonna feel more full. You gotta trick your brain. Yeah, I trick my brain as well, because when I make the smoothie, because you know the meal itself is not enough, I still need that additional thing. So when I make the smoothie, it's just like if I drink it in a whey protein, you're gonna get, you're not gonna feel it, right? But if you put ice in there, if you put a bit of spinach and whatnot, it creates a lot of air in it, you know. So it's still the same calories. It looks like you're eating a lot, but it's a lot more like dense. And then you gotta trick your body. And I tell you, the human mind is just not compatible with the human body. I feel like our mind is just too intelligent for our biology sometimes. It's like we got to kind of like pull the weight. You know, that's what it is. Your body, your biology, you're just pulling the weight. That's all that you're doing. So you gotta always like make sure that you're on top of the game, because you don't want to be obese. You don't want this physical manifestation of yourself to hold you back from your goals, like what you're trying to achieve in life. You know, you gotta pull that weight, because it's always gonna try and pull you down. The human psychology as well, that real low level part of it, the fight or flight instinct level of it. It's always trying to, it's operating at a lower vibrational frequency than what you're capable of. So you always got to recognize that on a day-to-day basis and keep moving correct. You know, if you're trying to achieve something, you can achieve it. There's no reason you can't. The reason why people say trading is not for everybody is because not everybody can differentiate between these levels. But it's not that trading is not for everybody. Everybody technically has the means to do it, right? But it's just your ability to differentiate from a lower level energy to a higher level energy. Do I have a massage gun? No, I used to have those feet massages growing up, but I don't know, I just never got it. How would you rate it from a scale of 1 to 10? Those feet massage things used to tickle my feet a lot, so I didn't actually find them quite comfortable. Probably need a nice massage chair. You know, like what UFC fighters do, for example, they eat ice. So, you know, I use ice in my mixture to make it all puffy. But UFC fighters, what they'll typically do before a weigh-in, they would wrap ice in a cloth and then they would chew the ice. And that kind of like tricks the mind. That act of chewing tricks the mind, so you're not as hungry, because they have to lose so much water weight before they go for the weighing in. It's like all discipline, you know, in every realm, even like UFC. Imagine the amount of freaking discipline that you need to be a UFC fighter. Have you ever traded silver? I've never taken a position on silver, but we've broken down silver before. Silver should still be moving up over here. Yeah, silver is currently filling this range. All right, let's close this. Silver should be on its way up right now, yeah. We got a nice little shotgun here. It looks like there's a little Judas swing. I don't know if this happened before or after it broke the highs, but it looks like it got a liquidity grab below here before moving up. But this is the range that I should be filling up. So we should be heading towards. Beautiful accumulation right now, right? This is about to distribute somewhere. You got the resistance, you got support, you also got some mini areas over there. This is gearing up for another big move here on Goldie. The weigh-ins should be done just moments before the fight. Yeah, those guys like freaking pass out during the weigh-ins as well. Some guys literally, after the weigh, as they're walking away, they fall on the ground. Some real Kaizen right there. That exhaustion of pushing. You see, that's why I say the body, it's not able to keep up with the mind. You see that UFC fighters, they get super exhausted, they fall, they collapse after that. And like, imagine Elon Musk's brain, bro. Why the guy is the way he is. But you gotta want it for yourself, right? You don't play the victim. Like, Elon Musk doesn't play the victim. He doesn't say, oh, why me? He just says, how can we keep going? How can we keep pushing? Buddies like that, man. You need someone to tell you these things. You need someone to have these conversations with, because you're not gonna find a lot of people who are willing to have those kind of talks. And you know, the ones that maybe you do find, maybe, you know, they're just kind of buddy, but it's just to kill time. There's no real action that's gonna come out of it. Like, I got buddies, we talk about these things, but I know like there's usually no real action coming from that. Even though they want the same things, there's just no real action. So it's just kind of a way to vent. But you know, sometimes you gotta need somebody who's on the path, you know, as you, to know that that you're not alone. Because it's a lonely game trying to be successful. You will be lonely at the top, but I think you'll find that it's worth it. It's not for everybody. Some people can handle with that. But that's why the trick is to be comfortable with yourself. So the way that you're going to know if you can handle it is, can you spend time with yourself? That's how you're going to know if you can handle it. If you can't spend time with yourself, you're not going to be able to handle it. Spend time with your thoughts. Do you think it's going to go down that distribution? I feel like it's trying to break out instead. It's trying to break to the upside. There could be an entry coming in I want to say like here, but I think the safest one would probably like be up here. Because I can see there's two models, not very clean ones. But there's one here and then there's one here. Sometimes it's like super clean and easy, and sometimes it's kind of like you gotta wing it. But I think like the key break would be above 51, 51.89. But yeah, it's definitely set up though. Love of solitude is crucial for a good life. Yes, sir. You gotta love solitude. You gotta love quiet. Peace and quiet. Like, you know, those buddies you can sit in a room and not talk. Those are your true... Man, you know my closest friends? I don't even have pictures with them. And if you go on their social media, they're gonna have pictures of all these types of people. But I know me and this guy were the closest. And we don't even have a single picture together on social media. You know, like, what does that say? The same guy, you can chill with him in a room and be just quiet. Just chill. Just quiet. You know? That's what you gotta be. You gotta be able to be okay with such things. Some people are just not, you know. Some people are gonna find it awkward. Even having this conversation for some people is awkward. That's why people don't talk about money, because it's quite taboo to talk about money in most societies. Because it's kind of almost awkward. There's a lot of insecurity that comes with it as well. A lot of, you know, I don't want this guy to know too much. You gotta be like an open book, man. Because you want to move forward. Very taboo. The way I got raised, very taboo to talk about money. Very taboo. No one around me talked about money. Even up to this day, people still around me don't talk about money. It's kind of just like, live your life. But I'm like, no, I want money. So let's talk about money. If you're calling me and you're not calling to talk about money, what are you calling me to talk about other than money? Let's see. I'd rate the massage gun a 8 out of 10. Use it when the muscle's aching and it hurts. But after you move much more freely without pain, it could be nice. I typically use this thing like it's like a heat cream. So you put it on yourself when you got like muscle aches, and yeah, just use the heat. Again, like a hot water bottle. Yeah, after this we're gonna clock in 10,000 pips on the treadmill. I think, let me see, how many pips did I secure yesterday? I'm sure I did like about 1,000. 11,000. Yesterday, yeah, just about 11,000 pips. A hell of a lot of business in the world through Vic. It's like if you won 40 million on a lotto, would you tell anyone? I 100% wouldn't tell a soul outside my circle. You gotta be careful with who you tell. 100%. You see this Russian billionaire's son got kidnapped in Bali recently? Man, it was horrible. They had like this torture video and everything, and they sent his dad, and his dad Russian, he's a Russian businessman, and they send me $10 million. You know, it becomes risky like that. Of course, you gotta be careful. But that's an extreme case, correct? Like a very extreme situation. Worst case scenario type thing. Yeah, the Ukrainian guy, exactly. Tough, man. And you know the way he got caught? Freaking woman, man. A woman posted a picture of him on Valentine's Day. Not that I have anything against women at all. But it just sucks. She just wanted a picture for the gram. And then this guy's location got exposed and he got kidnapped. Just wanted to flex for the gram. Just a little show off, you know? That's why I think in what country that it's China. Yeah, in China woods. Your government there, they're having like some kind of a law. I remember once reading about this where they're not allowing people, especially people with money, to post affluent lifestyle because it goes against the cultural norms. Which is a good thing. Hugs in the chat for Toby. Yeah, this thing's just cooking up right here, guys. It's getting ready for the next distribution soon. Yeah, what's the only guy I know from China? He's the only guy I know from China right here in this chat. Anybody else from China? We got anybody else living here in China? Let's see, got scammed on this. Oh, let's see what happened. It took you out, then flew. The 442. This is another shark. This is another setup as well. Man, so it did it twice. It did it twice. Look at this. I say there's a valid setup right here. Broke, but you mean to say it took you out before skyrocketing up. Holy. Sharks onto us. Yeah, because you don't see it when the candle closes. When it closes, it just looked like it closed bullish. But that's what you don't see. Usually when you backtest, it looks like it could have gone like just straight up. But you don't see on a backtest, it's coming down and then going back up again. So if you want to backtest with a good software, just get Soft 4FX. Soft 4FX. That's what we use for simulations. Beautiful sell-off. Yeah, that was a very clean move. Especially, you know, when price action is stagnant like this for a long time, you're going to break out. It's going to break out. It's going to have volume when it breaks out. Very good. That's a very clean move because, you know, like once it started breaking beyond that point, there was really nothing much to stand in its way of distributing. If you look at the... oh, okay. So that range was not as clean as I thought, but I think it's cleaner on the higher time frame. The 5-minute was a bit bumpy. You have like a support there. Oh, even the 15-minute had a support. Yeah, but the 30-minute is clean. And just be cautious about the speed bumps. But the idea is these levels are meant to get disrespected anyway, because if price gotta move, you know, and stuck in a place for too long, it has to move, and it's gonna move usually quite violently in your direction in confluence, which is again a good thing because you get more pips than you anticipated. Like this morning, for example, I was gonna secure like 16 pips, but it gave me more. Just like this move, chat. Like if we caught this move on stream, I would have been securing like 20 pips, but it would have given me more because it pushed. I could have probably been secured like maybe 30 or 40. No, like maybe 30 because it pushed a lot more. Right? Once you got a confirmation and I was heading to TP, push a lot more. So instead of making 2% this morning, I made like 2.6%. Instead of making 1% on this trade, maybe I would have made like 1.5%. So that's the whole benefit of trading with the market direction. That's your setup. Hey Vic, I noticed that the ranges are now larger. Have you changed the consolidation? Oh wait, have you changed the conditions for the 1 minute? Nope. Same conditions. We appreciate if you guys can like up the stream. Let's go, let's go. But no, I haven't changed. I haven't changed the conditions. I'm still executing just normally. Just waiting for it to set up and take the breakout. Sometimes a small breakout, sometimes a big breakout. Ranges are bigger. Like this is a much bigger range. So if we come up here, like this is a thing that really grinded my gears about this trade, is because we got exactly what we wanted to see. Was the price came down. Remember we spoke about this. Price was to come down, create that support, and the 5 minute was to push up, but close right before it breaks, because then we would allow the new 5 minute candle to be able to follow through a lot cleaner. And we got literally everything. Everything came to fruition exactly like we envisioned. But then we have that one variable. That variable is what we call is life. Is that variable right there. But in the market, we just call it shock, right? A little bit of liquidity grab. It's always that one variable. That's a pesky variable that you cannot control. You can set everything up perfectly, but then there's always that one variable that you have to consider. So whenever you backtesting and collecting your data, there's what you can see and there's also what you cannot see. So you always must keep that in mind. But as long as what you can see is more consistent than what you cannot see, right? Because the what you cannot see, there's a very easy remedy for that one, and it's to limit exposure. 1 to 2 trades a day. Just the same way it's more dangerous for you to, if you leave the house a lot, like statistically it's more dangerous for something to happen to you, correct? But if you limit the times that you leave the house, there's less of a chance that something is going to happen to you. It's the same thing like in trading, right? So you want to limit the amount of times that you're going to take and that's just me as an introvert speaking, that you're going to take the risk. But I think it's quite applicable. So that's why you got to be cautious. You know, you got to be very cautious. If a CIA was on my trail, they would only see this. Vic, Jim, family, home. Vic, my house, my homestead, Jim, family, home. And family is also like maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks. So actually it would look more like this. Home gym, 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 home gym. And then they're gonna call it lucky. Then in 10 years from now, people are gonna call me lucky. Whatever the result may be. Or even now. Then they say it's luck. It's luck, right? But this is all that I've been doing. You've been doing this. You've been doing home. You've been doing club. You've been doing restaurant. You've been doing God knows what else. And all of that you've been doing is what you should not have been doing. Then you imagine 10 years of this and 10 years of this. Home gym, home gym, home gym. Like working in gym, working gym, working gym. Even 5 years is enough of consistent effort towards a goal. Most of the time it's like 5 years. Give yourself like 5 years of fully locking in. To get things really kick-started, give yourself like 3 months. When you're trying to learn a skill, commit to something for at least 3 to 6 months to really build that foundation and then keep building upon it for the next 5 years. Don't close a live? No, we don't close a live. No live closes here, friend. We make our bed, we sleep in it. New 1 hour candle in 2 minutes. Yeah, it's still struggling, you know, because we have this major resistance right over here. It's still trying to break. Remember, the grand picture is the 4 hour. The 4 hour is what's really needing to follow through to break above a 5206, and then we're going to keep moving up. We're going to have a really nice range of like 1,620 pips. That's the grand scheme of things. You know, like when you're working on things in your life, people aren't gonna see this, right? They're only gonna see the accumulation. They're gonna be like, man, why is the architect wasting so much time with this trading thing? You know, they're only gonna see architect accumulate, but they don't know man's accumulating in the grand scheme of things. It's not just that small accumulation, but because the inner work has been done as well, there's this much larger thing that's going on in the background over there. So when it starts to break out, man, people are gonna be surprised. Now you're gonna see that momentum kick in. They're like, hey, what happened? This happened overnight? Bro, you didn't tell me you're trading? They're gonna say, but I did. You knew this is what I was doing. Yeah. But put me on, man. Put me on. Like, how do you do this? And I'll be like, nope, I'm not gonna put you on, because even if I did put you on, you probably wouldn't want to be put on, because you don't want to deal with that accumulation. So you're gonna try it, but you're not gonna see it through. I'd say it's about to break out. I think it's heading more for the lows though. See how it breaks out here. Eventually it needs to break because it's not moved anywhere yet. I'd see a break by 51.80. Let's see if it breaks 51.80. There's a couple of speed bumps there, but the 15 and the 5 should be getting disrespected, just like we did during the London session time. Sellers are in the market now. Let's see how it plays out for them, chat. Got sellers in the market. Oh, this is exciting, man. I love money. I love money. It's just a game of patience and discipline. Like, if this is the time that you trade, awesome. If it's not the time that you trade, be okay with paper trading. Watch those moves play out, and then just stay disciplined and just keep hitting it when you should be hitting it consistently. Let me see how much did that even break. Come on, don't be a Judas Goldie. Just pay these guys out. Let's see how much did it break. That's not even a big enough break, Goldie. Come on, just pay them out. Give them at least like 16 pips. Don't be greedy, Goldie. Don't be greedy. Just gotta battle through that 8 SMA right there. The 8 SMA is holding as a form of psychological support. Come on, Goldie. Just give them that 16 pip. 16 pips. That's all they're asking for, Goldie. They're not asking for a lot. I mean, some people are, but... Oh, come on, Goldie. Only 14? Yeah, this thing's really struggling. Is that 8 SMA? That's causing the bit of a hardship here. It's at 8 SMA and it's these minor levels that it's bouncing from. Let me give them like 14 pips. Let's see how big that retracement is. Okay, they're still safe. They're still safe. Majority of them are still safe. If it pushed up a lot more, then it would have swiped a lot more of them out. But I think some people got aggressive break-evens. But I think majority of them should still be in. There's a 5-minute about to close in 1 minute 18 seconds. There's a certain way you can see, like if you've been trading a system for a long time, there's a certain way that that those traders or market participants would be experiencing the moves. You know, so that's what I'm watching right now. I'm watching their experience of the setup. I'm not in it myself, but I know I could have been in the same boat as them. So I'm just kind of paper trading with them. Now I'd be at break even. Yeah, give me about 20 pips. I would have survived the pullback as well, I told you. So they've taken them out. They're out now. They've taken some positions from here. At least the disciplined ones. This is a beautiful thing about being an introvert as well. You're very sensitive to... that's why trading is really amazing for introverts. Because you're very sensitive to the process. Because you build a psychological relationship with this thing. As an introvert, you're very in your head. And very focused. So now they're getting paid out. So amazing. If you caught this trade, very well done. It pushed down for them about 27 pips. So this is when the sellers were going to be coming in right here. This accumulation now is finally getting distributed. You don't need to be right. Like, you just need 16.5, 20 pips stop loss and secure something. Get good at securing something. Don't aim to be right. Because, you know, sometimes you get moves, they're going to give you more money. Like this move, will give you more money. The move this morning I took gave me more money. Because it just happened. But make sure you get good at securing something. Because see, if you hang around here too long, you know when Sharky's coming back? Sharky can just decide he wants to come back now and retest these highs where he smelled blood. He smelled fear over here. You know? It's called a short squeeze. It's going to come up and it's going to try and squeeze you out. So, you know, Sharky going to smell some fear up there. Oh, nice. Still running here. 44 pips. Awesome.
Beautiful. Something close to genius.
Well, when he's around, you've always got a chance.
Muchas gracias, afición. Este es para vosotros.
Let's go. Nice. So we got, again, this is going to be XAU USD sells called. Awesome. Let's see. They will call it luck. Yeah. They will call it luck, my friend. They will call it luck. You see Mr. Sharky? Look at Mr. Sharky now. He came up. You see, he smelled the blood. He said, he still got some lemmings over here. Let me just go finish them up. But you see this? He said, okay, you know, I'm going to pay you guys out over here. You're disciplined. You took something out of the market. I gave you food and you took the food. But now I'm going to come back up here and take out the ones who are being too greedy. You know, it's taking out the previous highs. That's what I mean. If you can't get to this level of understanding of markets, if you're still chasing P&L, wins, loss, win, loss, win, loss, and you don't actually have a Kaizen approach to trading, just forget about it. Please go work a 9 to 5. Because then you're going to be put on a schedule and you'll be able to follow that schedule. Like this, you can't do the same thing. You have to actually give a shit. Got an email from Starlink. Let's see. We understand budgets can be tight and we're here to help with a flexible plan. Oh, they're trying to get me back on. I'm not paying for Starlink currently because I'm not using it. I'm trading a stupid prop firm account where I'm not allowed to close my trade in profit if it's not been running for 5 minutes. This is what they don't want you to know. This is exactly why they have those dumb shit rules. This is the exact same reason you're going to be in the same place 5 years from now, trading prop firm accounts. 5+ years from now. It's the same place because you've taken Kaizen out of the equation and now you're just chasing something. You're chasing. Whereas you should be learning. That's why I said the only thing you're going to invest in your trading is your education. Fuck the prop firms. If you're not investing in your education, what are you doing? You know, these rules that they're creating for you, they don't exist in the real world. So you're getting a very poor trading experience. Very poor. And it's going to cost you more. People will spend like tens of thousands of dollars on these things. Imagine somebody spending. There's a guy that I saw who spent $40,000 on prop firms. And he was in debt and he didn't have savings and he had all these credit card loans. $40,000. Can you imagine what $40,000 could do for your health, for your own mindset, for your own self-development? $40,000. Insane. That can change you completely as a person if you actually reinvested that into yourself, like in a way that's sustainable, that requires growth from you, something that you can earn, that you have to earn, that's not given. Man, you'll be a whole different person. I mean, there's nothing even that costs that much for you to even need to pay that amount, really. You know, it's insane, man. Nikon, like, damn. Speechless. You see, this is what I mean. Take a trade already, pal. Chat, what have we been doing this whole time? What have we been doing? What have we been doing this whole time since the morning time? What have we been doing? What have we been doing? Even this trade, literally, I just called out right now. I just called out a trade that just ran right now. Just ran 45 pips. What were you doing? What were you doing, man? Don't worry about me, man. I'm up already 30% on the month, and I'm still gonna increase this. I'm here to help you. Help me help you. If you can't execute, that's why they say even God can't help a lazy person. If you can't even execute, if you put the food on the spoon and you can't even put the food in your mouth, man, what are you? Even a baby can put the food on the spoon in the mouth. Even a baby can execute, chat. Even a baby can execute. And you see, when the baby executes, he's not thinking just about the food. The idea here isn't the food, right? The idea is that baby gonna learn how to feed himself. The food is just for the moment. He won't put it in the mouth and he's gonna eat and swallow and it forgets about it. The idea is the skill that he's gonna learn, that baby, that he's gonna be feeding himself for the rest of his life. That's what we're doing over here. Beyond just the trading. Beyond just like you watching me always take a buy or a sell. Like, we're doing it as well, but I just pray that you show up to the streams on time. That's when 3 a.m. candle opens. That's gonna be the London Open. I don't know, man. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I'm doing all this talking here. Getting rage baited this early morning. It's a rage bait. You'll get a rage baiting. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You're talking so much shit, and you, sir, must be the way you talk, you sound like a dumb 14-year-old or some kind of a kid. You sound like a kid. And grow up. Parents must be so proud of you on the internet right now, just looking for handouts. What an achievement, huh? What an amazing, amazing thing that you're doing. Hey, but you're here at least, man. At least you're here. Most people your age are not even gonna be here, so you have that going for you. Just need to get rid of this dumb shit behaviors. But you're on the right path. You know, they say 90% of it is just showing up, Sagna. So at least you're showing up. Yeah, but that's it. That's the next move. So we gotta wait again. We gotta wait again. Wait again for the next trade. And that's all that it is. So you see, we waited here for so long. So very well done in the discipline for waiting for this long, for this setup over here, and then executing it when it came. So today you learn a lot about patience. Learn a lot about waiting. You waited. There's a setup. You knew what it was. We called it when it was triggering. and it played out. Now you got to do that same process again. You see, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. One trade here, one trade here, one trade there. Just be patient. Be okay with sitting on your hands. Because sometimes you get sharky, sometimes you don't. But the important thing is you're consistent. It's the same thing in life, you know. Sometimes you want to be super disciplined. I know this next 3 months, I'm not going to go a whole 3 months without some kind of a distraction, some kind of outing, you know, that could affect with my diet. That's gonna be a shark. And I gotta recognize when the shark is coming or when the shark is around so I don't give back my gains. You see that approach? That same mindset I have in trading, literally in everything else. And it makes it easier to be disciplined because you're not just disciplined on the chart, you're actually disciplined off the chart as well. And it's not that it's something that you feel is a chore. It's not a chore because you know this is what improves and makes you better. Because when you're doing in trading, you're gonna see you're gonna have more profitable trades, a much better P&L. So it's the same thing that's happening in your day-to-day. You're having a more profitable P&L the more you follow those rules. It's fun. Should be fun. You should find this fun. Getting better. Find a way to trick yourself into it being fun. And it's only fun when you're working for yourself. Remember that. It's harder to trick yourself in an environment where you're, let's say, benefiting somebody else. Like if you're working at 9 to 5, it's kind of harder to trick yourself like, oh, this is fun. We're making this guy rich. It's much more fun when you're working on yourself. Vic, just ban that idiot. The problem is we need more of him. That's the problem. Like if we don't have enough of them, then the channel is not gonna grow. It's a good sign. So you see, it's a paradoxical thing. We want the idiots out of here, but we also need the idiots. It's like this really nice quote that I like. God, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. So you gotta know there's no light without dark. We have to find always a silver lining to things. Good night, Bruce Wayne. Oh, he said goodnight to Jane. Best education. Thank you, Vic. I kept locked in. No revenge trading or over trading. Psychology talk is much appreciated. Oh, welcome. Have a good night. I was watching another trader before you and there was another rager chatting trash. It's the internet, my friend. What can you do? Man, it's 33 degrees Celsius over here. I'm not looking to join any beef. These guys just need to stop popping some ashwagandha tablets so they can chill out. But yeah, nothing is set up again. It's gonna need to recalibrate. It's gonna need another waiting period. That's money. It's a as the Warren Buffett says, instrument to drive money from the impatient to the patient. This is the impatient to patient, patient, like clockwork. Sometimes the patient ones get screwed, but they're gonna get screwed less. Just like leaving the house, more dangerous leaving the house a lot more often. All probabilities. Gotta see where those patterns are. I actually ordered myself some ashwagandha last night. Nice. Make sure it's GMC. What is it? GMC certified. KMS 66. Make sure it has KMX 66 certification. That's the real stuff. Yeah, KMS 66. Take like 600 mgs, crank that baby up. No, like 300 mgs is for pussies. Gonna have a high cortisol in this industry, in this racket. Cortisol level is going to be pretty high, so you're going to have to bump that thing up to 600. But anything between 3 to 600 mg is safe. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's for pussies, man. Like, even if you take like, well, you can't take like 150 mg. You know, some of these supplements come like 150 mg. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with 150 mg? A grown man like you. What's 150 mg of valerian gonna do to you? You trying to sleep at night? It's not gonna be enough for you, sir. They need to put you out like a horse, like the horse you are. And I need at least 300 mg of valerian to put me out. And even that is not enough. So what happens is I have to do an on and off cycle. So I got 2 weeks of valerian and then I have 1 week off valerian. Otherwise, even the 300 mg I don't feel. And like ashwagandha, you gotta do like 3 months on, 2 weeks off. Because like 3 months to get the benefits of ashwagandha. Then you take 2 weeks off and then another 3 months on, then 2 weeks off. It's cooked up one here, but this one is I feel like that swing low is a bit too deep. The swing low here is about like 16 pips, so I wouldn't recommend such a dosage. This is now what we call overdose. Overdose of the breakout support over here, so I wouldn't recommend this. Just wait for another move to set up. I wish YouTube just removed this like thing, chat. Like, honestly, if YouTube, you're listening, just get rid of this likes thing. It's so annoying because it's like you have to beg for likes. You know, it's so annoying. It's like, also, if you don't like, then you don't feed the algorithm what it needs to be fed. But people don't like YouTube, people just don't always like shit. Like, there's so many channels that I watch, I rarely ever like their videos, but I'm consistently watching and supporting them. This whole like metric is such a flop. You know, like how they took out the dislikes? They removed dislikes from YouTube before you could see the amount of likes compared to dislikes. Then they removed it. I think they removed it after Justin Bieber's baby video. That thing had like 1 billion dislikes. Then they removed dislikes, so you can only see the likes. Can you imagine? What kind of society is this? You can only see the likes. A little bit, God forbid, a little bit of failure. You actually build your character. God forbid you take a loss. That always has to be a win, huh? Always gotta be a win. God forbid some kind of character development for this child. Say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. How much amount would you trust a broker with your trading capital? I think like 50 to 100k. That's about it. Because if you're already trading 50k, you get over the 100k limit quite fast. If you already have 50k in an account, you're gonna be over the 100k limit. So once you get to 100k, then you just withdraw 50% and then bring it back down to 50k. So that's all that you need. Like, you don't really need any more than that. Even with a $5,000 account, you can make a good return. So let's say for trading $5,000 account, I would have made about $1,500. And that's not bad at all. $1,500. Also, depending on what country you live in, that $1,500 is equivalent to a salary of a captain of an airline. Some airline out there. Captain's making $1,500 per month. A captain. Right? I think it's pretty nice. And then you get that translation from dollars to your local currency. There's certain ways you can go about it. So I would say you don't really need much. I don't understand these people who have like millions of dollars in their trading accounts. It's probably fugazi. In the real world, like, you know how much money even $50,000 is? You know what you can do with that amount of money? So there's no point having this risk in a brokerage, especially because people are going to have them in either brokerages that they personally own, or it's some kind of like sketchy brokerage. Like, you know, remember what KOT was? KOT was the one all these influencers were supporting KOT. You know? But INFORMATIONAL is pretty trustworthy. They trade upwards of trillions of dollars daily. And there's a very low chance that even if you put $1 million, that you would get screwed over. But there's a certain amount of money that when you get to, you don't put in a broker. You can't execute in the market like that. It's talking about the tunes of maybe 30, 40, $50 million trades. You wouldn't be able to just put that in a broker and then execute. But for the majority of us and those people who actually have that type of money, they're obviously making a good amount from the market. They say the rich get richer. So you gotta find somebody maybe sold a really great company and made all this money, and he just keeps getting richer in the market. But it's rare for like a retail trader to get to such a high extreme wealth from just buying and selling. Even the guy from FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, had a whole hedge fund. He would own like islands, yachts. But it's very rare that as a retail trader, you're going to sit in a room and just be trading millions and millions of dollars worth of size. It just also doesn't make sense because it's earned income, right? Like, you have to be here, you have to wait. It's earned income. Most of the time, by the time you get to a certain level of wealth, everything is passive, or leaning more towards being passive. So you see, it's not realistic. It's trying to break this one, but I still don't trust that swing low. It's just not as clean as the previous one was. Although I see a potential for it to distribute. It's just not as clean. Just wouldn't recommend it. $1,500 is low in your country, then move to Bali and see what you can do with 1.5. In your country, you're gonna live like shit because your country is expensive. You take that 1,500 to Bali, see all the fresh food you're gonna eat, see what kind of a villa you're gonna live in, see what kind of a lifestyle you're gonna have. Then we're gonna say if 1,500 is shit or not. You just gotta change your circumstances. Obviously, someone living in New York wouldn't survive on 1,500. That barely covers a freaking, even a one bedroom, even something smaller than a one bedroom will cost you $2,000. Who are making $5,000, $10,000 a month? Yeah, but you live in a fucking box. Amazing. You own nothing and you live in a box. Congratulations. You know, that's just a number, but like you pay tax, and on top of that, you pay tax on top of that. Amazing. Amazing. Very well done. Yeah, it looks like it is actually distributing from this area. Distributing from this area, and it's currently in motion. Although I would not recommend it. Like for me personally, it didn't look clean, but I could see it. I could see it's there, but yeah. Beautiful distribution though. It's actually playing out from that level, it seems, now in hindsight. Like we could see it already. We could see it already here. We thought it was going to go for the buy. But looks like it did a U-turn. When it did the U-turn, it became a little bit more visible. Then ended up breaking and following through. So I think it just filled up a range. Or it came down towards this 30. Yeah, it's the last speed bump. That 30. Wait, because the hour should be clean. You got a wick fill. That 30 is the last support that we have to kind of get through. Then it's just all about wick fill. It looks like it is distributing from there. Basically, it's it played out here one round, pushed up, wiped out people, and then kind of consolidate again right next to the first entry right over here, the first high volume point. Sometimes this happens on a mini scale as well. And there's a way that we're able to maximize gains from that happening. This is a much larger scale. Because the next breakout came in about 56 pips away. Damn, Daniel.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Sheesh. Yeah, 1,500 could be a salary of somebody living in let's see 1,000. How much do, let's say, Ethiopian airline pilots get paid? Ethiopian Airlines, what a really big airline. That's cap, man. There's no way. 9,000. Oh, captain. Somewhere someone is getting 1.5. They're like 2,000 flying as a pilot in a third world country. But it says here on Google 9,000 plus per month, but that's a captain. Salary range. Let's try Somali Airlines. Somali Airlines. Okay. Oh, $1,000 a month plus benefits. Yeah, $1,000 a month. See? And benefits. So that means that your kids go to like a private school. You know, maybe you got like some health insurances. Let's see. For context, in early 2026, the average gross monthly salary for various roles in Somalia was reported to be between 2,000 to 2,350. Yeah, but anyway, not a great example, but it's still a lot of money in a third world country. But even some third world countries can be very expensive. Like I think it's is it Seychelles? I think it's Seychelles. It's super expensive. Even like coming from Europe, you'll be surprised how much money you're gonna spend on cab for short distances. Yeah, this is stuck in distribution phase right now. It's still paying out traders. That's it. That's it. This was what essentially happened here was it broke. That was the one that we called out. First round of payouts. It came out, washed people here. And it's the ones with the much higher stop losses who possibly gonna still be in this kind of like a trade. But in the long run, it's like you're not trying to catch the biggest move. You're trying to catch percentage. So someone catching that whole move could only catch about 1%. Someone catching this move could also catch 1%. And that's why I think it's still distributing from that area. And they gave like another chance of a re-entry below here too. So that's what's currently still playing out. So it's still paying them out. So it looks like the setup did end up coming. The one we were waiting for. It just wasn't as clear, this one. And now the daily bias has flipped again to waiting. So we're down 0.40%. You see, we're giving back a lot of gains right now as this thing is just melting off. So I do see the TFX entry confirmation. It's just a matter of personal preference, as risk is discretionary, but it is definitely available. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what you want, right? You want to have the availability and allow yourself the character development to decide on your execution. So if we break what happened today on stream, since the whole time we've been streaming, we've only had one trade here. We had this trade here, one dub, one loss, one dub right here. Those are the only 3 setups that have come in a time span of 3 hours. And typically I would say every hourly candle should at least give you between like 1 or 3 trades, one or three trade ideas. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty sufficient. I mean, 4. Actually, those 4. But this one, obviously, we didn't call out. We didn't call out, but we kind of mentioned that it was there. But you see, it confirmed the entry when it broke the lows. It didn't break the highs, because if it broke the highs and faked out, then that would be a loss. Instead, it broke the lows and then played out. If it broke the lows and then faked out, then that would also be a loss, because technically there is a setup. Runner just closed. Nice one. All I ask is a commitment of 100%. That's all that I ask. If you can't give me 100%, then I don't want it. Can't even give me 1%, 100%. Ronaldo says 20%. He said, don't be crazy. Ronaldo is crazy. I'm crazy. But all you have to do is 20%. I say 100%. Because you see, I'm not a very talented person. I'm not a very smart person. So I have to do more than 100%. I have to do more than what I feel that I should do, because I know I'm not naturally gifted like that, you know. So that's why you always got to give more than 100% to get a buffer. You got to have a buffer, right? It's the same thing like if you got an 800 calorie target, you know yourself, probably gonna eat more calories, so you want to have a small buffer so you get right to 1800. So work is just the same. Know yourself, know your capabilities, and how much you need to put in.
Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym.
Of course no. But I go because I have a compromise with myself.
Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. Of course no. But I
Oh, sorry, man. That must be really loud.
go because I have a compromise with myself. But I'm not go happy every day. You think I'm wake up off the bed every day happy, or with my wife or with my kids? Sometimes I'm not. To mention again, the most important thing is to have a routine, consistency, not obsession. Good.
What is this thing? What is this thing that everybody has
Don't be like
who
Cristiano,
is successful?
because Cristiano is crazy. Okay. Not
See,
obsession. The thing is to have a routine,
have a routine.
consistent.
Routine, that's where success comes from. It comes from your patterns.
Not obsession. Good.
Obsession, you know, sometimes you're going to be way too motivated, but you see, motivation goes out the window, discipline kicks in, right? Motivation is here today, gone tomorrow. Discipline is here to stay.
Don't be like Cristiano, because Cristiano is crazy. Okay, but 20%, 25%, it's too much.
20%, 25%, it's too much. Or Ronaldo, some of us need 110%. We're not all naturally gifted. Some people are naturally gifted. You can be a naturally gifted football player like Ronaldo. Just give it like 20, 25% above the 100. You know what? Some of us, man, we need to start from zero. So don't get discouraged. Like bro to bro, some people also just had it handed to them, right? You got to work for it. A lot of us have to work for it. Don't get confused. A lot of these people you see on social media have rich families. I'll tell you now, a lot of these people driving nice cars and whatnot, they all come from wealth. So don't get confused. There's only a certain few people who come from nothing. So you see these people and you find them motivational, just know that their family's rich. And if you're able to judge character, you should be able to see it. Or at least have a good idea of if that's the case or not. So don't get discouraged. It's just you didn't get it handed to you. Just know the difference. Let's see, gold rising on softer dollar, easing inflation. Oil prices above $100 a barrel had recently fueled fears of higher inflation and potential delays to interest rate cuts in the US. Powell and the Fed are watching the same crude charts as everyone else. Okay, we haven't got anything any fundamental updates. But we had Trump speaking yesterday, apparently. Today we still got core CPI. We're expecting numbers to be coming out as bearish or more like neutral bearish on the dollar. So no clear direction while waiting for these numbers to come out. Core CPI, core PCE as well on Friday. And job openings. I'll probably catch you guys in the chilling stream. So I'm doing a chilling stream as well. So don't be surprised to see us live later on during the day, maybe sometime during New York session. We're just gonna chill. We're gonna play games. We're gonna do reaction videos. We're gonna answer Q&A questions, look at charts. and just like hang out, and also give you analysis. If you're trading the New York session, then it's a nice place to come and hang out and ask you questions, psychology questions, trading questions, and do reaction videos. We see what's happening in the industry right now, call out the bullshit as it comes. And yeah, I think we're gonna keep doing that. So yeah, shout out to those of you. I know Mr. Rashid was there yesterday. It was just a trial stream. Looked like it went pretty well. It's also an excuse. It's an excuse for me to play video games and also give value. So I want to play games, but I don't want to do it in a way that provides no kind of a value. Because you know, you can play a video game like some of y'all are clocking in 10,000 hours worth of skills in video games. You know, the problem is if you're not playing it competitively, you're just wasting a lot of time. Some of you know, go look at your Steam. Some of y'all in the chat know yourselves. Go look at your Steam and go look at how many hours you've been playing that game for. You probably clocked in at least half of a 10,000 hours, which 10,000 hours is anything that you need to become an expert in any given field. If you've done like 5,000, half of 10,000 hours playing a dumb shit game and you didn't even get paid for it, man, just open a channel or something, you know, find a way to provide value when doing it. So yeah, this is the only way that I can play games, because if I play it and I'm not streaming it, I don't play it because it feels like a waste of time. But at least if we're on stream, we can provide value. 20 people came. Yeah, we got a whole 20-30 people in there. It was lit. Whole 30 people showed up. Hey, but that's fine, man. Like, we started with like one person watching. What do you mean pause? What did I say? We started with one person watching. So 30 people is a blessing. Imagine 30 people in one room. Alright, chat, I'm gonna head out. I appreciate you all tuning into the stream. For those of you caught some moves here today, amazing stuff. Very well done. Very, very well done. And I will see you tomorrow. And actually, no, I will see you later today. Adios.